Hey, Keelan, how are you?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thanks for asking. So we're just gonna start off. I just want to ask a couple questions in this interview to get to know a little bit about you and your goals for what you plan to seek in your profession. So let's go
Okay.
ahead and begin. Why do you want this job?
I originally wanted to work in a rehab because I do have some family members that have had to be placed in a rehab and specifically receive speech therapy. But after all of my practicum rotations, I really liked the rehab setting. I really liked how quick pace it was, and I liked that the clients were very motivated and they were at a little bit older age to really appreciate their speech and want to work hard for it and continue to get better.
Where would you like to be in your career 5 years from now?
So 5 years from now, I still want to be in the rehab setting. Um, I think just 5 years from now, I want to be more confident in myself and just have a little bit more experience on my own and just knowing like I'm the one making this decision. It's not, I can't rely on a supervisor to kind of bounce an idea off of. But I think just in 5 years, I really want to be a more confident clinician, specifically in the area of swallowing.
Okay. Have you ever been on a team where someone was not pulling their own weight? How did you handle it?
I haven't been on a team, but in grad school, we were placed in groups for multiple of our assignments. And I do remember this one time where one of my group members, we would always allot a certain amount of time for us to all meet via Skype to do the assignment. And my one group member, she always decided to leave the conversation early. And I just personally felt like she wasn't really contributing as she should for a group assignment. So I reached out to her via Skype because that was the easiest way for us to communicate in grad school. And I just kind of expressed my thoughts with her and letting her know I didn't quite think she was contributing to the assignment as she should be, and that I would just appreciate it if she would put her full effort into the assignments and stay available on Skype during those specified times.
What was the most difficult period in your life, and how did you deal with it?
So honestly, my most difficult period of life was in grad school. I was placed in a different city. It was a very small city, and I wasn't too excited about it. I was excited to be going to grad school, but just not the location. And so I really struggled with that. And having the quick pace of grad school, my first client, it was just a lot for me to take in. So I really had to rely on my faith in the Lord and kind of just trust that He had placed me in that city for a specific reason. And I was supposed to go to that school, and just knowing that there is an end goal in mind and He is going to allow me just to persevere through it. I also had to rely on my family a lot just to help me get through that and just kind of let them encourage me and let me know that I can do this and I will eventually get through it.
What salary are you seeking?
So I haven't had an actual job. I've just had practicum placement, so this will be my first job. Um, After doing a little bit of research, I noticed that the salary in Texas is anywhere from $45 an hour to $80 an hour. And since this will be my clinical year fellowship, um, I think it is appropriate to kind of expect to make within that $45 to $50 range per hour.
What are you looking for in terms of career development?
To help develop my career, I think I really want to attend more trainings in CEU, specifically in swallowing. I feel like that's an area that I'm a little shaky in, and I would just want to kind of brush up on that a little more just so I can gain the confidence I need to enter into a client's room whenever they need feeding therapy.
How do you want to improve yourself in the next year?
Within the next year, I think I really want to focus on my self confidence. Oftentimes, I lack it, and I doubt myself, and it's not because I don't have the knowledge. I just always second guess myself. Like, is this the right decision I should be making? Is this appropriate for my client? And so, I think I need to learn just to really trust my gut and go with what I've been trained to do for the past 2 years in grad school.
How would you go about establishing your credibility quickly with the team?
To establish my credibility quickly, um, I think I would just be ready to answer any questions that they throw my way, and specifically in regards to a patient. I think I would really want to answer them with a quick and accurate answer so that way they know that they can depend on me, especially whenever they have a client that they're not quite sure how to deal with. Um, if there was a cognitive issue or if it was feeding, that they could trust and ask me and just know that I am credible and have good knowledge within that area.
How long will it take for you to make a significant contribution?
I don't really think that it'll take long, especially within the rehab setting. After my experience, I found that even a few weeks makes a huge difference in those patients and their success and where they are. So I think maybe a month, it could possibly be even less than that, that I would really start to see the difference that I'm making within the job and really in the patients' lives.
How would you describe your work style?
So I noticed within my 5 practicum rotations that I'm very quick and to the point. And it's not that I don't want to take the time to get to know my colleagues or anything like that. It's just I don't want to take 45 minutes out of my day to stop and chit chat. I really want to get to the job and do it quickly and efficiently and just stay on task.
What kind of personality do you work best with and why?
I think I work best with someone who is a very good listener and kind of will take a step back and take a moment to listen to me and not try and talk over me. I've oftentimes found that I get frustrated when someone tries to talk over me and they won't really listen to what I have to say. So I think if someone just takes that extra 10 seconds to listen to what I need to say and on my opinion, I think that would be good, and then have them be able to express their thoughts on the situation at hand.
Okay. So just to end this interview, I'm just gonna ask you a couple of brain teaser questions. So the first one is, how many times do a clock's hands overlap in a day?
Okay. I think it's 24 because there's 24 hours in a day, and I'm assuming that they have to overlap at least once in each hour.
Okay, last one. If you could choose one superhero power, what would it be and why?
So my superpower would be flying, because I really hate driving in the car or just traveling if that matters. So I'd want to get from point A to point B quickly and at a cost that isn't too expensive, especially whenever you have to go buy a plane ticket. So
Definitely.
Okay. Let me switch. Okay. Hey, Whitney, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. So I'm just going to kind of ask you some questions during this interview just to get to know you better and just understand your background within this career. So, what are your weaknesses?
I think some of my biggest weaknesses would be I'm too hard on myself most of the time. I'm definitely a perfectionist, and I will take that extra time to make sure something is perfect. And I also think that I have difficulties delegating tasks to other people when it is necessary.
Why should we hire you?
I think you should hire me because I have a strong work ethic. And I believe from my experience from undergraduate or from graduate school, it prepared me with adequate knowledge and skills that would greatly contribute and benefit your facility. I believe with this combination of skills and the experience and also who I am as a person are a great match for who you guys are looking to hire for this position.
Give me an example of a time that you felt you went above and beyond the call of your duty at your work.
A time that I think I went above and beyond in my work would be in graduate school. I was a graduate assistant for the tutoring department, and this required a lot from me as well as my coworkers. And my boss had a big load on her plate for a week, for about like the first week into the semester. And so I dedicated at least over 10 hours, more than what I should have been working, to help her out, to release some stress from her, and just try to be a team player to help her out.
If you found out your company was doing something against the law, like fraud, what would you do?
In a situation like this, I think I would definitely report it. In graduate school, we're taught to be ethical in everything that we do, and I would just take the necessary steps that I would need to report something like this happening.
What salary are you seeking?
After doing a little bit of research in New Mexico, for a clinical fellow, it seemed about the average. The average per hour was about $35 to $45 an hour. So I think I'm seeking probably somewhere in the middle, about $40 per hour.
What's your salary history?
Due to this being my first job or my first job in this profession outside of graduate school, I do not have a salary history.
Okay. What are you looking for in terms of career development?
I think in terms of career development, I would eventually hope to work my way up the ladder and eventually become a director of rehab. This has always been a goal of mine, and so I hope that I would be able to achieve this in my career.
What kind of goals would you have in mind let me just start that question over. What kind of goals would you have in mind if you got this job?
Some goals I would have in mind would definitely be being a team player, because I know within a setting like this, there's going to be times that, I'm going to be co-treating with other people, and I definitely want to be able to build rapport with these people that I'm working with. And I also would like to expand my knowledge and skills as a clinician and just be as proficient and efficient as I can as a clinician in this setting.
What do you see yourself doing within the first 30 days of this job?
Within the first 30 days, I think definitely establishing rapport with the nursing staff, the kitchen staff, as well as any other employees within the setting that I might encounter on a daily basis. And I also would hope within this first 30 days that I build good rapport with my clients and that I'm seeing some pretty good progress towards their goals.
If selected for this position, can you describe your strategy for the first 90 days?
So I think it goes along with the previous question as well, just having that rapport, because I feel like you encounter the nursing staff as well as the kitchen staff when you have swallowing patients a lot. And also just being able to see that progress with my clients and doing what I can to best help them, whether that being attending CEUs or receiving other trainings that would help me best benefit them.
What would be your ideal work environment?
My ideal work environment, I think, would be everybody coming together and forming ideas and strategies and bouncing ideas off of each other if people were having a difficult time. Just being able to have that positive and encouraging work environment with everybody that I would work with.
What are 3 positive things that your last boss would say about you?
I think 3 positive things that my previous boss would say about me is that I was very reliable and responsible and hardworking.
Okay. And so to finish up this interview, we're just gonna I'm gonna ask you a few little brain teaser questions just to kind of lighten the mood. So, if you were an animal, which one would you want to be?
Ooh, this is kind of hard. I think I would choose a dolphin. A dolphin is my favorite animal, and I just think they're very friendly and compassionate, and they're definitely a companion that I feel like you could lean on. And yeah, so I think I would choose a dolphin.
Okay, here's the last question of the interview. With your eyes closed, tell me step by step how to tie my shoes.
Okay, so first you would get your strings, and I would make an X, cross over, and go under and pull, and then make a loop, swoop, and pull.
All right, great job. So that is the end of our interview. Thank you so much.
Thank you.